Spring and Fall. Gerard Manley Hopkins. To a young child, Margaret, are you grieving over Golden Grove unliving? Lives like the things of man. You, with your fresh thoughts, care for, can you? Ah, as the heart grows older, it will come to such sights colder by and by, nor spare is high. Thou worlds of one would leave me lie, and yet you will weep and know why. Now no matter, child, the name. Sorrow's springs are the same, nor mouth had, no, nor mind expressed. What heart heard of ghost gasped, it is the blind man was born for, it is Margaret you mourn for. Analysis of the poem. Spring and Fall is one of Hopkins' most popular poems. It is also one of his sad poems. This poem was written by Hopkins in the spring of 1880. It was written by Hopkins when he was struggling with great personal depression. Here we find him overworked and worried. Then he was living in Liverpool, which for him was the most useless, a most unhappy and miserable spot. About this poem he wrote to his friend Robert Bridges. It is a little piece composed since I began this letter, not founded on any real incident. I am not well satisfied with it. Still, it remains a poem of great lyrical intensity and passion in which technical innovation also abound. The poem expresses the idea of sad mortality of man and nature alike. The child Margaret, who weeps because of the golden leaves falling in autumn, really mourns, though she does not yet know it her own morality. The poem concerns human mortality. It is a kind of lamentation which the poet makes because of the fall of man. In the beginning, man lived in perfect innocence and bliss in the garden of paradise. But now, after the disobedience of God, he has been made to decay and death. In this connection, the use of the coined word golden grove in the second line of the poem is greatly suggestive. To some, it is a simple and rather gratuitous invention. They consider it to be merely a description of trees, the leaves of which have turned red and yellow or gold. The unleaving of the Golden Grove, however, gains wider implication when we consider it with reference to the Garden of Paradise. The leaves that are falling, we are told, are like the things of man, line 3. So, Golden Grove may also stand for golden days of youth, the springtime of life. Thus, the two aspects, the season of the year and chronological stages of man's life, get united in this one word. Then the capitalization of the word Golden Grove alerts us to other suggestions in the poem. Words of one wood, ghost, ghast, and twilight man was born for. The words word, ghost, and blight give us an innovation to read the poem in the context of the Garden of Eden, for which Golden Grove is a happy coinage. From the ninth line onwards, we find a change in the thought of the poem. Here, he tells us about the cause of Margaret's grieving. Nor mouth had nor mind expressed what a heart had of ghost guessed. It is Margaret you mourn for. Now we are told about the cause why death and decay have come into the world. Thus we come across a double symbolism in the poem. Fall refers to Adam as well as man's fall from grace, and spring stands for the fountain head of sorrow, the original sin and the spring of tears. Thus, this poem expresses Hopkins' conviction that all sorrow springs from one cause, mortality deriving from sin, and this is so, whether we are conscious of it or not. Margaret, now a mere child, will grow soon, and like Hopkins, come to know of this great truth. The poem is a direct address to the girl, Margaret, and there is no scene setting or the name. The poem is written objectively, but we can feel that this is rather away from the truth. The poem is a projection of the poet's self in the form of Margaret, and the generalization of the human condition may also be read as the consciousness of the poet's own position. In Margaret, he recognized his own youth and the distance he was traveled from it. Naturally, beauty, instead of being a revelation of God, is increasingly seen as a reminder of the shortness of his own life and his own mortal nature. Hopkins has garnered the common research of language and invented new words by extending the common process of its development and growth, shifting parts of speech, compounding new words. From old elements in the coinage of new words, Hopkins has used old elements into new entities. In this poem, he has twice coined two new words in a single line. In the second line, he has coined Golden Grove and Unliving, and in the line 8, one wood and leaf mill. The happy choice of the coinage of Golden Grove has already been explained. As regards unliving, it is composed of a noun leaf used as a verb with a negative prefix "an" to mean living leaves. The cause of misunderstanding is that many people consider it a compound of leaf used as verb with the compound "an." The other line that contains two coined words is line 8. One wood is a compound of two words, wood and one, and the woods are pale because the trees have shed their leaves and so they have become one, that is pale. leaf meld seems ambiguous, but this ambiguity is soon removed. Here we have to remember that there is a word in English, piecemeal, which means piece by piece. Likewise, leaf meld means leaf by leaf. This line thus may be read, though huge areas of dark colorless groups have dropped their leaves on the ground one by one to decay, becoming a mass of millimeter